In the Solomon Islands, where thick forests blanket volcanic landscapes and ancient banyan trees tower over quiet villages, the air is filled with stories. These are not just the tales of every day, they are older, rooted in the land itself. Here, nature is alive with spirits, and the forest hums with the presence of beings just beyond human sight. These beings are not easily seen, but their presence is felt in the rustle of the leaves, the soft pad of unseen footsteps, and even the occasional missing item from a village home. These are the Kakamora, the enigmatic spirits of the Solomon Islands. For generations, humans have been telling stories, tales, and legends about creatures found all around the world. From the griffin to the chupacabra, and from the leviathan to the Chinese dragon. It's high time we set out an adventure to learn about them all. This is an expedition for the mythological. Welcome to Mytho Safari. The name Kakamora stems from the Arosi language, spoken by the people of the Makita Island in the Solomon Islands. Before we do continue on this video, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications to join our channel. And while you're at it, be sure to check out mythosafari.com, where you can grab some awesome merch like t-shirts and other cool products. Every purchase helps the channel grow and keeps us bringing more content your way. Pronounced Kakamora, it describes small, mysterious beings that move deftly through the dense forest. Across the Solomon Islands, these elusive creatures are known by other names: Mumu in southern Malaysia, Dodore in northern Malaysia, and Kali Bohi Bohi on Guadalcanal. The Kakamora are described as forest dwellers, their size ranging from just a few inches to about 3 feet tall. They're covered in long black hair, their nails sharp and curved like claws, and these diminutive beings are said to live in caves and hollows within ancient banyan trees, far from the paths of humans. They are known for their stealth, leaving behind little evidence of their presence aside from faint footprints and half-eaten fish. The first recorded mention of the Kamakora comes from the early oral traditions documented by Reverend Charles Fox in the 1920s. He recounted the tales of small humanoid creatures with wild appearances, their damp footprints found on the dry stones of near rivers. Villagers would describe how they could hear the Kakamora chattering in the forests. Their language, a series of sharp clicks and lifting tones that were difficult to interpret. The Arosi people refer to them as Ta'e na Katu, meaning those who move in the shadows. One of the oldest stories of the Kakamora tells of a village hunter who ventured deep in the forest in search of food. Armed with a bow and arrows, he moved carefully through the dense undergrowth, aware of the whispers surrounding the legendary forest dwellers. As dusk approached, the hunter spotted a strange figure darting between the trees. A small being with long hair that shimmered in the fading light. Curiosity overtook fear, and the hunter followed the creature, tracking its faint footprints to a clearing surrounded by towering banyan trees. There he saw a group of Kakamora gathered around a fireless feast of fruits and freshly caught fish. Their language was unlike anything he had heard, a mixture of rapid clicks and melodic tones. The hunter stayed hidden, observing their communal behavior. But the Kakamora were not oblivious to his presence. One of them turned suddenly, its sharp eyes locking onto the hunter's hiding place. With startling speed, the Kakamora surrounded him, their claws glinting in the dim light. The hunter tried to explain his intrusion, saying, "Au katora na inu." I mean no harm, that means. To his surprise, the Kakamora did not attack. Instead, they commuted in their strange tongue, seemingly debating whether to let him go. After what felt like an eternity, the Kakamora stepped aside, motioning for the hunter to leave. Before he fled, one of them placed a piece of fruit in his hand, a sign that he had been spared. When the hunter returned to his village, he spoke of the Kakamora as both fearsome and fair, creatures who demanded respect for their domain. After his safe return, the Arosi wrote a ceremonial song as a warning to their people. And in one of the songs they sing, "Taka ne Kakamora koi ai asi o koa mana," which means, "Do not challenge the Kakamora. Their power is greater." Another phrase mentions Ka Amora na Inohi, keepers of the dark, highlighting their role as guardians of the wild and to respect their part of the land. Among the many tales of the Kakamora, one of the most enchanting is the story of the moonlight dance. According to legend, these elusive forest spirits gather under the light of the full moon to perform a ritualistic dance deep within the jungles of the Solomon Islands. This dance, said to be both mesmerizing and otherworldly, serves as a rare glimpse into the communal and spiritual life of the Kakamora. The moonlight dance is described as an event of great energy and harmony. It takes place in clearings surrounded by ancient banyan trees, where the Kakamora gather in secrecy as the full moon casts its silvery glow glow, they begin to move in unison, their small bodies swaying and leaping in intricate patterns. The sound of their rhythmic stomps and sharp, high-pitched singing reverberates through the forest, creating an eerie but captivating atmosphere. Islanders claim that Kakamora dances is not just for celebration, but also serves as a spiritual purpose. The dance is believed to honor the moon, which the Kakamora see as a guardian and a source of life. The light of the moon is said to protect them, illuminating the forest while hiding them from human eyes. During the dance, the Kakamora chant words in their unique language, their voices blending with the sounds of the forest. One phrase often associated with the dance is "Tane mai luka'a, tahene mai luku, tane mai luakaha." Bring us the light, guardian moon. This chant is thought to express their gratitude to the moon and their connection to its cycles. The dance also serves to strengthen their community bonds. It is during these gatherings that the Kakamora share their stories, solidify their roles within groups, and reaffirm their ties to the forest. These traditional dances performed during the full moons often include rhythmic stomping, communal singing, and symbolic movements that echo the patterns described in Kakamora folklore. The Kakamora made their global debut in Disney's 2016 animated film Moana, where they were reimagined as a tribe of coconut-clad pirates. In the film, these pint-sized adversaries portrayed as fierce, chaotic, and humorously determined, engaging in a high-stakes chase with Moana and Maui. With their handmade weapons and coconut armor, they were depicted as whimsical but formidable obstacles for the protagonists. While this portrayal captured the imagination of audiences worldwide, it diverges significantly from the traditional understanding of the Kakamora in Solomon Islands folklore. The Kakamora of Moana are aggressive seafaring warriors, a sharp contrast to the forest-dwelling, elusive spirits described in island traditions. In their original myths, the Kakamora are deeply connected to the island, and specifically the land, avoiding human contact unless provoked, and they possess a mischievous yet mysterious nature, rather than outright hostility. The creative liberties that were taken by Disney in Moana sparked controversies about cultural representation. While the film introduced Kakamora to a new audience, it did so by blending elements of Polynesian and Melanesian mythology into a single narrative. This resulted in a portrayal that deviates from the rich, nuanced traditions of the Solomon Islands. The coconut armor, for instance, while a clever design choice, has no basis in traditional Kakamora lore. It serves as a visual device to align the Kakamora with the playful tone of the film's action sequences, rather than their mythical roots. The sequel, Moana 2, revisits the Kakamora, offering a deeper exploration of their motives. This time, the story suggests that their aggressive behavior stems from the displacement caused by environmental and divine forces, adding a layer of sympathy and complexity to their portrayal. While this expression provided more of a nuanced perspective, it still reimagines the Kakamora through a fictional lens and prioritizes a storytelling over cultural accuracy. Despite these inaccuracies, the Kakamora's inclusion in Moana and its sequel has sparked a global interest in these legends. For many, it serves as an introduction to the mythology of the Solomon Islands and other Pacific Island cultures. At their heart, the tales of the Kakamora are about boundaries and respect. Respect for the unseen forces of nature and for the interconnectedness of life, as well as the mysteries that remain beyond our understanding. Whether they appear as tricksters stealing food, guardians protecting the forest, or creatures of the moonlight dance, their stories carry lessons of humility, adaptation, and reverence of the unknown. The Kakamora may not reveal themselves, but their spirit lives on in the forest steps and in the stories that bind us to earth. The Kakamora remain deeply woven in the cultural and spiritual heritage. They teach us to live with respect and wonder. And until next time, we'll see you on the next safari.